Be honest. There's a reason. Some people slowly pull away from you. They don't say it. They don't confront you. They don't explain it. They just change. They text less. They show up less. They feel different. And you notice it, but you don't fully understand why. So you tell yourself, they're just busy. They changed. It's not me. But what if it is you? Not in a bad way. Not because you're a bad person, but because there's something you do that you don't see. A pattern, a behavior, something small that slowly becomes too much for other people. And your zodiac sign? It plays a bigger role in that than you think. Because every sign has strengths, but every sign also has traits that can quietly push people away. And the worst part? You don't notice it, but they do. So don't just listen to understand. Listen like someone is describing you, because one of these is going to feel a little too accurate. Let's start with the first type. The ones who don't think they're the problem. The ones who need too much control. You like things a certain way. You like clarity, consistency, structure. And when you don't get it, you feel uneasy. So you try to fix it. You ask questions. You analyze. You try to understand everything. And at first, it feels like you care, like you're invested, like you're serious. But over time, it starts to feel like pressure. Because not everything needs to be controlled. Not every emotion needs to be explained. Not every situation needs to be managed. And when you keep pushing for certainty, people start feeling like they can't relax around you, like they're being watched, evaluated, measured. So they pull back. Not because they don't like you, but because being around you feels like work. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, because the next type doesn't push people away with control. They overwhelm them. The ones who feel too much. You're intense, not in a bad way, but in a real way. You care deeply. You connect deeply. You feel everything. And at first, people are drawn to that. It feels different. It feels meaningful. But over time, it becomes overwhelming. Because not everyone processes emotions the way you do. Not everyone wants that level of depth all the time. But you don't turn it off. You go all in. You expect the same level back. And when you don't get it, you feel hurt, confused, maybe even rejected. So you push harder. You try to deepen the connection. But that intensity? It becomes too much, too fast, too heavy. And people start pulling away. Not because you're too much, but because they're not built to handle that level of emotional depth. Now let's talk about the ones who confuse people the most. The ones who feel distant. You're not overly emotional. You don't chase. You don't overreact. You stay calm, independent, self-contained. And at first, that's attractive. It feels stable, grounded, safe. But over time, it starts to feel like distance, like there's a wall people can't get past, because you don't open up easily. You don't express everything you feel. You don't always show what's going on inside, and that creates confusion. People don't know where they stand with you. They don't know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what they mean to you. And that uncertainty, it slowly pushes them away. Not because you did something wrong, but because they never felt fully let in. And now, the last type. The one people rarely talk about. The ones who stay, but don't grow. You're easy to be around. You don't create drama. You don't make things complicated. You just go with the flow. And that's comfortable, safe, predictable. But over time, it becomes stagnant. Because relationships need growth, energy, movement. And when everything stays the same, it starts to feel stuck, like nothing is evolving, nothing is changing, nothing is moving forward. And even though you're not doing anything wrong, you're also not doing anything to move things forward. So people get bored, disconnected, unfulfilled, and eventually, they leave. Not because of what you did, but because of what you didn't do. Now here's what connects all of this. Because none of these behaviors feel wrong when you're doing them. They feel natural, normal, even justified. And that's why they're so hard to see. But from the outside, they look different. They feel different. And over time, they affect how people experience you. Because relationships aren't just about who you are. They're about how you make people feel. And sometimes, without realizing it, you're making people feel things you never intended. The pressure, the intensity, the distance, the stagnation. And the moment you become aware of that, everything changes. Because now, you can adjust. Not change who you are, but understand how you show up. So be honest. Which one are you? The one who controls too much? The one who feels too deeply? The one who stays distant? Or the one who stays the same? Because the answer might explain more than you think. Drop your zodiac sign in the comments and tell me which one hit you the hardest. And if you want to understand not just how you see yourself, but how others experience you, subscribe. Because in the next video, we're breaking down why you keep attracting the same type of person based on your zodiac sign. This isn't just astrology, this is awareness. And once you see how people experience you, you can finally change it.